There is a kind of silence that heals you, a kind that doesn't feel empty. It feels whole. When the world gets too loud, when everything around you moves too fast, silence becomes your sanctuary. Being alone isn't a punishment. It's a return to your own heartbeat, your own rhythm, your own truth. We spend our lives surrounded by people, yet most of us have never truly met ourselves. We run from one distraction to another, from one conversation to the next, just to avoid the sound of our own thoughts. But when you finally stop running, when you sit quietly with yourself, something begins to shift. The noise fades, the masks fall, and you begin to remember who you are. You start to see that being alone isn't loneliness. Loneliness is the fear of yourself. Aloneness is the discovery of yourself. In solitude, you meet your real reflection. Not the version you show the world, but the one that waits quietly beneath the surface. You notice the ache you've been carrying. You notice the dreams you buried to please others. You notice how often you've given your peace to things that never deserved it. And slowly, you begin to take it back. Alone, you learn the language of your own heart. You learn how to comfort yourself without needing someone else to fill the silence. You learn how to listen, not to reply, but to understand. Silence teaches you things that noise never could. It shows you how much of your identity was borrowed from others. It reminds you that your worth was never meant to be proven, only known. In a world that tells you to stay busy, solitude is rebellion. When you choose quiet over chaos, you reclaim your power. Because when you can sit alone and still feel at peace, you're no longer controlled by the fear of being left behind. You've already found what everyone else is searching for, yourself. There's a moment, deep in the quiet, where the mind finally lets go. The thoughts slow down, the body relaxes, and you feel something you haven't felt in a long time. Clarity. That's the moment you realize you don't need more. You just need less. Less noise, less comparison, less pretending, less people who drain you, and more space, more stillness, more honesty, more you. The power of being alone isn't about cutting the world off. It's about reconnecting with yourself so deeply that when you return to the world, you bring peace with you. You start to choose differently. You stop chasing what doesn't fit your soul. You stop begging to be seen because you already see yourself. You stop forcing conversations that were only meant to end. You stop apologizing for needing space, and you start to love differently. Not from emptiness, but from overflow. When you know how to be alone, you stop fearing endings. Because every ending becomes a beginning, a doorway back to your own presence. Alone is where you rebuild. Alone is where you grow. Alone is where you remember that peace was never somewhere out there. It was always within you. So take a walk without your phone. Sit in silence for 5 minutes. Watch the sunset with no camera. Listen to the sound of your own breath. At first it will feel unfamiliar. Then it will feel peaceful. Then it will feel powerful. And one day you'll look around and realize you're not lonely anymore. You're free. That's the power of being alone. It doesn't separate you from the world. It reconnects you to everything that's real, to the quiet, to the truth, to yourself.